The northern Rhone Valley and the southern Rhone Valley are both renowned wine districts that are separated by the Rhone River. Additionally, they have some grape types in common. In general, though, the two expanding regions couldn't be more different from one another. Granite slopes dominate the northern Rhone, which is a small, steep, and narrow valley with a climate that ranges from cool to moderate. The only red wine grape it grows is Syrah. The southern Rhone, which includes the area designated as the AOC for Chateauneuf du Pape, is virtually the exact opposite. It is vast and warm, and it has a lengthy list of grapes that are permitted. Let's begin with that point. Here are some things regarding Chateauneuf du Pape that you ought to be aware of. But first, subscribe to our channel as we keep uploading such interesting stuff. Although it covers a very limited area, the Chateauneuf du Pape appellation is the first place that comes to mind when discussing wines from the southern Rhone that are both age-worthy and sumptuous. The town of Orange is located near the geographic center of the AOC and is approximately 15 miles long and 8 miles broad. The Rhone River and the A7 highway both travel in a direction from north to south and cut the territory in half. With only 8,000 acres of vines, the appellation does not have a particularly dense planting density. These are dispersed over the 5 communes of Batarides, Chateauneuf du Pape, Courthézon, and Orange, respectively. The acreage that is planted has been further subdivided into 134 lieu dits, which are named vineyards that have formal recognition. Despite the fact that Chateauneuf du Pape, which hails from the Rhone Valley in France, may never possess the elegance and longevity of a great Bordeaux, the mystique and prestige of a wine from the famous vineyards of Burgundy, or the perfume or rarity of a top-notch Barolo or Barbaresco. What it does offer is immediate gratification that is both intellectual and hedonistic in its nature. Its rich and round texture, which is sumptuous and luxurious, is almost unsurpassed by the majority of the world's wines. Its wide assortment of scents and flavors are reminiscent of a Provençal marketplace. Why does everyone still place such a strong emphasis on Burgundy? The very best. The best Chateauneuf du Papes are some of the most authentic interpretations of the grapes, the land, and the year they were produced. The vineyards in Chateauneuf du Pape are either cultivated organically or biodynamically, and the fact that the region receives a lot of sunshine and has a lot of wind, called the Mistral, means that there's almost no need to apply any herbicides or pesticides to the fields. Wines themselves are equally clean, with their characteristics being rarely concealed by the use of new oak during the maturing process. Obviously, not every bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape is the same quality. As a result, I have compiled a brief history and geography lesson, in addition to a few pertinent facts to assist wine lovers in gaining a better understanding of the region that the renowned Rhone vigneron Marcel Guigel once referred to as one of the 3 greatest appellations in southern France, along with Côte-Rôtie and Hermitage, of the northern Rhone. This region is known as the Côte-Rôtie. There are only 2 wines produced in the Chateauneuf du Pape appellation, a red Chateauneuf du Pape, which accounts for 94% of the area's production, and a white Chateauneuf du Pape. Chateauneuf du Pape is the largest appellation in the Rhone region and has more than 8,000 acres of vineyards. Grenache is the most widely planted red grape variety in the region, accounting for nearly 80% of total plantings. Syrah and Mourvedre are the next most common varieties, followed by Cinsault, Muscardin, Caunoise, Vaccaries, and Terret Noir. Grenache Blanc, Claret, Bourboulink, and Roussanne are the most important white grapes, although Picpoul and Picardin are also allowed. Before roughly 20 years ago, white Chateauneufs were often tasteless and boring. However, as winemakers began investing in technology that would better keep freshness and aromas, the quality of these wines skyrocketed, and they now have a greater level of complexity. Despite the fact that the French appellation system has its origins in the 1923 system that was formed in Chateauneuf du Pape by Baron Leroy, proprietor of the renowned Chateau Fortia, Chateauneuf du Pape never gained a reputation for quality and never achieved the respect that is enjoyed by regions such as Burgundy and Bordeaux. The majority of the issues stem from the fact that the bulk of the produce was sent to cooperatives, where it was mixed with other ingredients to create unrecognizable blends, which were then either bottled and sold under a variety of labels or sold in bulk. At the beginning of the 1970s, there were only about half dozen estates that produced wines of exceptional quality. These comprised the Château de Beaucastel, Domaine du Vieux Telegraphe, Rayas, and Montredon, as well as Clos du Mont-Olivet and Clos des Papes. There are currently 60 to 70 estates that are producing wines that are on par with or even superior to the wines that were produced by the aforementioned 6 properties approximately 45 years ago. This is a result of not only advancements in winemaking methods, but also, and perhaps more importantly, an increase in the number of young individuals who are taking over uninspired and dormant estates and utilizing the terroirs of their locations to their best potential. There is a huge variety of approaches to making wine among these producers, which results in the creation of wines that are appealing and simple to comprehend, which are rich with fruit, as well as wines that have more intensity and gravitas. The latter provide a plethora of enticing aromas, some examples of which are herbs de Provence, black cherry jam, black currants, blueberries, blackberries, roasted meats, and even cow blood. These wines have the potential to be robust, luxurious, full-bodied, and concentrated to the point where they can age for 15 to 25 years. While white Chateauneuf du Papes should typically be drank within 4 to 5 years following the vintage, there are a select few that are able to mature for significantly longer periods of time. The finest examples include an abundance of tropical fruit and flowery flavors, as well as a sharp underlying acidity. Most do not go through malolactic fermentation, while yet being deceptively robust and heady in alcohol content, with an average of 14% or more. Because many Chateauneuf du Pape wines are not aged in new oak, they may be enjoyed with a wider variety of lighter foods such as fish, veal, and chicken. This makes Chateauneuf du Pape one of the most versatile wines to pair with food. One reason for this is that it complements a large portion of the cuisine that is prepared today, which is influenced by the Mediterranean. Beyond its food-friendly traits, expansiveness, generosity of tastes, and rich texture, the most appealing aspect of Chateauneuf du Pape is the craveable attraction of its combined cerebral and hedonistic aspects. This is the aspect that intrigues me the most, and it unquestionably contributes to Chateauneuf du Pape's rising prominence in the wine world. The Chateauneuf du Pape AOC is well known for its cobblestone soil, which consists of deep mounds of boulders approximately the size of softballs. However, that only scratches the surface of the geological terrain. The variances end up imparting distinctive characteristics to the wines, although this is less a result of the exact mineral makeup of the soils than it is of how well they drain water, how fertile they are, and how well they retain heat. The producer of Chateauneuf du Pape wine has a significant impact on the wine's personality. I would recommend reading this article that was written by Eric Asimov for the New York Times in order to gain insight into those individuals. Additionally, he discusses worth. Despite the fact that the prices of excellent wines have increased quite a little, the greatest bottles that can be purchased in Chateauneuf du Pape are easily 5 times less than those that can be purchased from many other famous locations. As is the case in the vast majority of areas, there is no general rule of thumb that can be applied accurately to aging. There is an excessive amount of variance between producers, which can be attributed to the terroir of the vineyards they use, the blend, and the decisions they make when making the wine. Upon their respective releases, any of the wines are suitable for consumption. You run the risk of missing out on a potentially beneficial development. To get the most out of the wine's aromatics and smooth out its texture, you might need to decant it or give it some time to breathe in the glass before drinking it. However, none of them are so astringent that they are inaccessible to the average person. Comment down below your opinions on this. If you want to learn more about other wines, then subscribe to our channel right away. Thanks for watching.